It's time to talk about something serious. So, recently, a Twitch drama streamer named Badbunny made some pretty serious allegations against me. So, I'm gonna play the clip where she made these allegations so that she can explain them in her own words.
Being a woman is every moment of your life. Every fucking moment of your life is you being gaslit into thinking that you're nothing. It's you having to run around teaching people about reality. And it's not exclusive to women, I know. This is oppression shit. But like, I'm so fucking tired. Like, the fact that that dude still gets people thinking that he's like a serious like contributor to the discourse when he has relentlessly, continually been sexually harassing me and like being sexist toward me. I don't even know, man.
That is a pretty big accusation, right? Relentless sexual harassment. That is a big accusation. You know, I apparently abused and sexually harassed this person. So this is kind of news to me because I've definitely never even come close to meeting her in real life. I'm pretty sure we're like 10,000 miles away or something. And I've also never actually spoken to her online at all. I've never spoken to her in DMs or anything. I've only ever really spoken in DMs to maybe like a half a dozen other like so-called creators ever. And she's certainly not someone who is remotely important or insightful enough to have been among them. So like, you know, what the fuck could she possibly be talking about? The only time in my entire life that I've ever referenced her in any way has been to laugh at one singular clip from her stream, which is very funny. It's a very funny meme. I'm not going to stop laughing at it. So that must be what she's referring to here, right? Well, let's check her Twitter where she's actually posted the supposed receipts from this and see what she means. Because, you know, maybe I'm lying to you guys. Maybe I'm hiding true receipts that she definitely has on me, and she can prove to you guys that I am a abominable sexual harasser who has relentlessly sexually harassed her. Let's check what kind of receipts she's got over there. So in the first thing that she quote tweeted here, it's a screenshot of a tweet of mine. I said, if a Twitch streamer is a woman, it's off limits to laugh at them unironically begging for money from their audience. Like, oh no, what happened is she showed up and she was like, oh, but guys, please stop being nice to Bad Empanada. And then I replied to that because I knew that was what she was talking about, right? It's that clip. The only thing that I've ever talked about in regards to her is that fucking hilarious clip, which I'm going to show in a minute. Basically what I'm saying here is that it's not misogyny. You're not a fucking misogynist if you laugh at a woman streamer who did something fucking stupid and funny on her stream, okay? What's the next piece of evidence? Actually, I learned from you, and now I constantly insult my viewers until they give me $5. I did. I absolutely do. And I will continue to. Thanks, Badbunny, for teaching me. Is this sexual harassment? Like, what the fuck? She says the $5 a month sexist harassment campaign. Sexual harassment is when someone makes fun of you for something that you verifiably said and did? What else is there? Yeah, I said exactly the same thing. Misogyny is when you do something stupid and someone laughs at it. Stop promoting Bad Empanada. Why should we stop promoting Bad Empanada? For laughing at me on Twitter. That's like the only reason, like the entire reason, her whole reasoning is based on the fact that I made fun of her on Twitter for a cringe thing that she did one. And I made fun of her on Twitter like 3 times total. And somehow to her, that becomes relentless sexual harassment is how she described it. Like either you need to be like completely self-absorbed and completely disconnected from reality to think that like someone making fun of you for something that you objectively did is remotely constitutes sexual harassment, let alone like 3 or 4 times ever. She's essentially like gaslighting her dumb audience into believing that the definition of sexual harassment is when someone makes fun of your favorite streamer. You have to be completely gaslighted to buy this. So there's nothing there, right? There's no evidence because it's not true, obviously. I have not relentlessly sexually harassed her. I have not relentlessly anything to her. I've literally only ever spoken about her in my entire life in the context of that one hilarious clip, which now I'm going to play.
To get the stream going, if you like the content, blah, 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 how that results in 0 subs. There are regulars here. $5 a month. How do you have hours of time to watch me and not $5?
I don't know. What are you doing with your life where you have hours of time to watch Twitch and not $5 to provide for the content that you're watching? Because it's like people just really really don't respect me as a content creator.
Yeah, I don't, because you produce nothing of worth at all. But anyway, that clip, talking about that clip, is literally the only time in my entire life that I have ever engaged with Bad Bunny in any way whatsoever. Like, obviously that's what she's talking about. So that is what she considers to be abuse and sexual harassment, and relentless sexual harassment at that. Simply laughing at her constitutes sexual harassment. That's it. Laughing at her, saying dumb shit is sexual harassment. Now, suffice to say, I really don't think that most people would consider that to be sexual harassment. Not even close in any way, shape, or form. Let alone relentless. Like, I've mentioned this, like, what, 4 or 5 times ever over the last, like, 2 years? Like, maybe I've replied to her when she shows up, like, complaining about it, and that's it. Like, a couple of tweets at her, making fun of her in one clip. And she's trying to make it out like that's like equivalent to like being a fucking racist or something, which she is, by the way. We're gonna get into that in a minute. Bad Bunny, you really fucked up. So like the only possible way that anyone could buy this is either if she completely leaves out any context and just basically throws out those accusations, and the person listening is just gullible and like takes her at her word that I sexually harassed her, or they're pathetic members of her community that have been gaslit into believing that like making fun of their favorite streamer for a dumb thing that she factually actually did constitutes sexual harassment. So to sum that up, me laughing at an embarrassing outburst of hers maybe half a dozen times on Twitter has been spun by Bad Bunny into being like an obsessive stalkerish campaign of abuse and sexual harassment. That's obviously not just dishonest, but malicious. That she's taking something like this and trying to frame it as being even remotely abusive, while also exaggerating the extent to a completely absurd degree. What she's doing here is basically saying that based on that and nothing but that, I should be cancelled or whatever, right? So it's actively malicious. And I'll show you the rest of that clip where she pretty much says that, and also complains about a couple of things, which I also want to respond to.
He's so loudly an asshole too. It's like that guy will still get people rooting for him, whereas me, there'll just be pages and pages and pages of the internet dedicated to how I'm a fucking bitch. I'm just so fucking tired, man.
First, specifically address what she said there. Like, she seems confused as to why she apparently gets so much shit while I apparently don't. Well, because apparently, you know, like laughing at her alone should be grounds for someone to get shit, I guess. Now, regardless of that, I do get a lot of shit, but that's kind of irrelevant here, because I want to help her understand this a little bit. I'll try to, I'll in good faith engage with that. As I just said, for one, her entire justification for why I should get shit is that I made fun of her for something hilarious that she did once. You have to be delusional to think that that's something that, makes someone worthy of quote-unquote getting shit. I think most people would agree with me there. Whereas for Bad Bunny, well, she was an actual bona fide white nationalist, transphobe, homophobe, ableist, literally everything up until like 2 fucking years ago. So I think that's why most people on the left who dislike her might dislike her. For those reasons. Like, there is an endless list of receipts for this, and I'm going to go over it in a minute. So obviously, we're not talking about the same thing here at all, right? We're talking about someone who was a fucking white nationalist versus someone who makes fun of her, or made fun of her a couple of times ever, for screaming $5 a month on stream. But, like, even if I made fun of that, like, 1,000,000 times, it still wouldn't be sexual harassment. It would be making fun of a fucking hilarious accidental meme moment. Nothing more, nothing less. Now, for 2, like, her content is worthless. I'm sorry. She rants incoherently in front of a camera with no insight nor expertise to offer on absolutely any issue whatsoever. She's your generic politics streamer, okay? It's about what you would expect from someone who was a white nationalist like 2 years ago. And now we can compare this to, like, my videos. Now, so I don't like to toot my own horn that much, but I think it's fair to say that I make carefully constructed, exhaustively sourced essays that ask and answer very complicated and highly original question, okay? I don't just sit in front of a fucking camera like blurting out whatever random shit comes to mind. like Bad Bunny and a lot of other political streamers do. So what we produce is not even remotely in the same league. Me and her, we're not the same. There's nothing alike. Frankly, I'm more offended by the fact that she tried to put herself, it's like hold herself up as like someone who is remotely in the same league as me as a creator than I am by her obviously ridiculous and easily debunked allegations of sexual harassment. Now I'm going to move on to the coup de grace, the finishing blow, the receipt. There are endless chat logs and video clips of Bad Bunny being a blatant and open white nationalist. Okay? I can say that because I have the proof. And this was as recently as just 2 years ago. I'm not basing this off vibes. I'm not basing this off, her annoying me or insulting me personally or anything. I'm basing this off actual proof. So, unlike what she did, just making a libelous allegation that I committed a serious sex crime with no proof nor basis in reality whatsoever, I can actually prove my allegations against her with overwhelming evidence. So the worst of this comes from a chat that Bad Bunny had with Destiny. I don't know when this was. I think it was 3 or 4 years ago, maybe 2. In this clip, she outright states the 14 words, essentially. First, she said that she wouldn't date a black man. And then Destiny asked her why. And her response is fucking mind-blowing. It's straight up white nationalist 14-word shit. Just, this is by, of all the shit she said, and there's some really abominable shit in there, this is by far the worst of it. There's no coming back from this.
A fair statement on what they find attractive, but when somebody says, I don't like black people, that's a huge section of people to just completely write off as unattractive, and it just seems kind of strange. Is it literally just the skin color is unattractive to you? I don't know, it just seems like a weird statement to me.
It's as simple as
feels like he supports the Holocaust.
Evolutionarily, we want to fucking propagate our fucking shit. And so propagating our own fucking shit involves finding people that are similar to our own shit.
Well, I mean, that's...
There you go. That's literal 14 words. She's saying that, we must secure white children. We must propagate the white race. That is what she said there. And that's why she doesn't date black men. So yeah, when I said I had receipts, I wasn't throwing around, okay? What else is there? Well, how about a collage of endless fucking times in which Bad Bunny used incredibly offensive homophobic slurs? So there's that. We also have her using the N-word dozens of times with the hard R. So, there's that. Just wait, I need to zoom in on this just before I move on to make sure that you guys know what we're dealing with here, okay? And here's the transphobic stuff. Pretty bad, right? Wait, there's more. Ableist stuff. Calling people autistic as an insult. So yeah, basically name any kind of vile, disqualifying sort of bigotry, and Bad Bunny was still engaging in that well into her 30s, as recently as 2 years ago at the very latest. I mean, at the very earliest, possibly even further from that. I don't know, honestly. I'm not going to look into it more. And now here she is, trying to dictate who should and shouldn't be excluded from the so-called left, based on nothing more than them having made fun of a very embarrassing thing that she factually said a few times over the course of a year or two. So I think this is actually a good opportunity to talk about two things that I've talked about on my channel previously, on my second channel rather, previously. that are problems within this sphere. One is these ex-fascist creators who are given a lot of special treatment and credence just based on the fact that they were once fascists, when in reality they know absolutely nothing and provide absolutely nothing of value to anyone. Yet they also love to try and dictate who is and isn't on the so-called left and what this left should or should not be, like Badbunny is trying to do with me here just because I essentially slighted her. Okay. And another thing is the fact that these spaces are all just based around nothing but clout rather than anything remotely concrete politically. So Bad Bunny's problem here is that I made fun of her a couple of times. And in response to that, like rather than, acknowledging that maybe we share some opinions or whatever, but she just doesn't like me personally because I made fun of her, blah, blah, she tries to weaponize her clout and lie about what that actually entailed in order to literally try and cancel me or whatever, to try and deplatform me. She's essentially implying that if someone makes fun of her, no matter how they're making or why they're making fun of her, it's automatically sexual harassment. So anything they produce should be ignored. So there's no concern for actual substance or content. It's nothing but clout. It's nothing but like or dislike for another creator based on a few fleeting interactions. And this is because for many creators, or even most, at least in the politics sphere, and their fan bases especially, their attachment or aversion to other creators on a personal level is considered far more important than the actual issues at hand. Far more important. Far more important than any actual substance. Another great example of this thing is Aristocracy recently. I was arguing with her through a series of videos and responses, etc. And she tried to make a point where that really shows this thing that I'm talking about regarding clout. Hold on, I'll bring it up. In this clip, Aristocracy, referring to an argument that she had with me where she was supporting Israeli settler colonialism and I was arguing against it, she complains that streamers that she rated didn't agree with her and instead agreed with me. Essentially making an argument add clout or something, like a new type of fucking fallacy just dropped. Where if I've rated you, if I'm friends with you, if I'm nice to you, if we're acquainted, you need to support me no matter what. The actual facts don't matter. It doesn't matter that we're talking about two completely irrevocable positions, one which is essentially fascist, her Zionist ethno-nationalist position, versus let's not do that. She doesn't care. What matters to her is the clout. It's nothing but clout. And here's the clip.
Really shocked by there's some streamers that I've rated into streamers that I thought we were.
What? You've rated them, so that means I need to support settler colonialism and your ethnostatism, I guess. It's all clout. This is what I mean. For these people, it's all clout. It's all about Hugbox, friend group stuff. And that's why Vorsh invited him onto her stream, or invited her onto his stream. Because for Vorsh, it was well, this person is my friend. She's nice to me. I don't care if she's an ethnostatist. I'm going to bring her onto my stream and just uncritically take everything that she says as true. Because she's my friend. I don't give a shit if I'm completely against Israel and she's completely for Israel. I don't care. She's nice to me. We have a mutual hatred for this other person. There we go. Let's talk about it. Let's be friends. That's what she's saying here right now. That's another great example of what I'm trying to get at here regarding the just overarching importance of clout to most of these streamers, far beyond actually talking about anything else. It's all about clout. I gave you clout, now you have to agree with me and back me up on everything, no matter how wrong and abhorrent my views on it are. So Bad Bunny was trying to do something very similar here. She's trying to weaponize her clout to distort reality and change the meaning of sexual harassment, so that she doesn't even have to justify it, right? It's just someone has annoyed me by making fun of me for something completely unrelated to my gender or sex or anything. Therefore, it's sexual harassment. So it's because of a personal grudge that she feels against me over a couple of fleeting interactions. I don't think about her at all, by the way. If I see her mentioned, I just move on with my day and don't talk. I don't care. If she sees me mentioned, she's replies saying, "Oh my god, Bad Empanada, I can't believe that you guys say that Bad Empanada makes good videos. Don't you realize that he was mean to me once?" So yeah, because of that personal grudge, she considers it an imperative that I be attacked and deplatformed. Beyond just some, I don't like this person as a person level. Regardless of how many blatant lies she has to tell to that end. As she clearly said that in the first clip. What I create doesn't matter. What I actually said to her doesn't matter. It's just I wounded her clout, and that's enough justification for me to be ignored or even deplatformed. How dare you attack my clout? I'm going to use my clout now to show you how bad that is. So yeah, I'm glad that I've been able to sort of make a point about something wider here by discussing this frankly ridiculous, completely off the fucking walls allegations that Bad Bunny is throwing at me here. Completely nonsensical, nothing stuff. I've literally never interacted with this person in my life beyond making fun of that one stream clip in ways that obviously are not even remotely misogynistic or sexual harassment. So now, I'd like to announce a new sound alert on my stream. The Bad Bunny moment. The most important thing that Bad Bunny has ever done in her entire life, immortalized here on my stream, far more valuable than any of her dog shit, zero information, zero insight content. We're going to have the Bad Bunny moment sound alert here on this stream forever.
$5 a month.
So thanks to her absurd, completely absurd allegations of sexual harassment, I was reminded that that sound clip exists, so I decided to go and get it, add it to my stream, and allow my viewers to play it. So now it's going to be played dozens or hundreds of times in the future, and absolutely zero of those times are going to even remotely constitute abuse or sexual harassment, okay? Cope and seethe, Bad Bunny. $5 a month. You come at the king, you best not miss. Let this be a lesson for you all. I am the greatest drama streamer ever. No one ever comes out of a dispute against me without taking a shit ton of damage, and without me coming out of it totally unscathed. Learn from the mistakes of others, and don't make them yourself. By the way, that whole thing that he said, that was a joke. It's an exaggerated parody of like debate streamer culture. So just before you like take it as real, I have to like put this there so that you don't take it seriously.